All right, what's going on, Melanin Me people?
Hey guys. I we're back for another round. I hate that we're on here for this reason in particular, what we'll be discussing today. But you know, I'd also wish that the reason why we're on here would stop happening, which would be Black people getting killed for no reason by cops. Or
By
really just any
anyone.
stupid person getting called on at a barbecue, or people getting called on in their apartment buildings because they want to work out and now they have to prove that they're a tenant in their building. Just all of it, 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 all of it.
All of it.
But
As you can see, my
so
screen says it all for
Whitney's screen, if you're not watching us and just listening to us, pop on YouTube and check out Whitney's background. It's very befitting.
unfortunately, we have to still hang signs from hundreds of years ago that says, a man was lynched today, a Black man was lynched today, and that's still happening in 2020. Halfway
Blatantly.
through the year. Crazy.
Blatantly. I was watching something or reading something and it was like, this has been happening. It's just being filmed, like it's just being recorded. It's been happening. It's just being recorded now. And which is shocking as well, because you would think by these type of events being recorded, which we've seen damn near a lot of events being recorded and still nothing happens. So it's like, yay, we can record it. So maybe there really is justice, but then it does absolutely nothing. And they want to create laws where you can't Facebook record. You can't. So let's just get right into what happened yesterday. If you want to set it up for the audience, listeners.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Black man, 46-year-old Mr. Floyd, George Floyd, was killed by a Minneapolis police officer. One in particular was the one who we saw on the footage for those who watched the viral video. I didn't want to watch it, but something told me I had to watch this one the whole way through. Um, One of my favorite YouTubers, I always talk about her, Lovely T. She posted the video in its entirety, and she tried to post it like 3 times because YouTube kept removing it. So when she posted, she said, please watch whole video, full length video before YouTube removes it. So I was like, okay, let me watch this. Let me brace myself. And it was horrendous. Like, it's way worse than the memes make it seem. It's way worse than the little clips that I saw on Instagram. It was horrible. Like, they held this man down for over 10, 12 minutes. And people are on the sidelines are begging. One man in particular, the only man really who really stood up for George, he was basically just yelling at the police saying, y'all are doing too much. He can't breathe. He clearly can't breathe. Like, what's your badge number? How can y'all do this? How can y'all sleep at night? You're killing this man in front of us. Like, he was, to me, it seemed like he was really close to wanting to do something physically to help the man, but he knew that he couldn't. I mean, he could, but they probably would have shot him where he stood so quick. But it really makes you think, because had I been out there, I don't think I could not
Not
bear to witness that. Like, that was just extreme. Like, it was torture. It was torture. I didn't see any real resistance. And from the angle where the video was shot, at first you thought it was just one person holding their knee in that guy's neck, but when you look, it was actually 2 other officers holding down George's legs. And the one officer that we saw was the one who was forcing his knee into his neck. So there was just really no reason at that point. This man is handcuffed. He's on the ground. Why do y'all need 3 or 4 officers just holding him, pinning him down, slowly suffocating him for over 10 minutes? It was just demonic, honestly. Like, the look in the cop's eyes, I've never seen anyone it was like some Michael Myers type mess. Like it was like he was slowly waiting for him to die. Like it was no hostility. It was no, he wasn't even arguing back at the people. The people are begging for the ongoing citizens who are just sitting on the sidelines. They're begging for this cop to stop. And the cop just presses harder into George's neck and looks these people dead in their face, calm as a cucumber, just mentally a psychopath at that point. Like no human being essence is within this person. And then we have an Asian officer who stood in front trying to kind of like block the view of what was happening. He looked disturbed the whole time. He looked disturbed, like he wanted to stop, but he couldn't stop. And one of the black guys caught on to that, and he was like, Officer Tao, what's your name? Tao, look at you. Look at you. You look like you can't even stomach it. You know this is wrong. You know this is wrong. And the officer just like, get back, and put his head down. Asian officer letting these 3 white men slowly kill this man. This man was crying out for his mom. This 46-year-old man was crying out for his mom. He was like, I can't breathe. My mom. Like, what? How do y'all not have no sense of decency? How many times do people have to tell you they can't breathe? At this point, that was 100% intentional. There's no excuse. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't you were scared of him. It wasn't that he was a threat. It was that you wanted to see the life get drained out of him slowly. Like that's all it was. I've seen horror movies. That's the look I got. It was a deranged, psychotic look. And at this time, it's a lot of uprisings in Minneapolis and starting to be all over the country. And I don't see what else people can do at this point. Y'all keep killing people's loved ones like it's nothing. You give more rights to animals than you do to Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, if mentally I broke down when I watched the video. I just feel very, you already know my favorite phrase. I hate it here sometimes.
The ghetto.
The ghetto. I just don't get it. We were just talking about this, what, 2 podcasts ago? Like, can we even get through a month before this shit happens again? Go ahead, girl. That's all I got to say.
Unfortunately, it's all just so unfortunate. And it takes me back to Eric Garner.
Yeah.
Who I don't know if most remember. He was accused of, he was a Black guy sitting down in front of like a corner store type, sitting outside on a sidewalk, I'll just say that. And he was accused of selling cigarettes without tax stamps or something like that. And he clearly stated he was not selling cigarettes. That's not what he was doing. And a group of police officers tied his hands behind his back, put him in a chokehold. I think at one point they were also on him. Like, I can't remember if a knee was in his back, but he was a bigger guy. He probably was, I don't know, if I had to guess, maybe 250, 300 pounds, somewhere between there. Wow. So he was a fuller guy. But again, that has nothing to do with anything because he was not resisting arrest. All of this was filmed on camera. We could clearly see that it didn't take 8 cops or however many cops to literally, get this man. And again, you're arresting someone, you get them in handcuffs, cool. Why does it have to be the extra? Like, why? They're unarmed. Most of these Black men that have been, up against this police brutality and murders and all this kind of stuff, they've all been unarmed. They've all been, most of them have all been non-resistant. Like, there's literally just been no excuse. And again, even if there was a little bit of resistance, why not shoot somebody in the kneecap? Why not shoot someone in the arm? Or I don't even want you to use a gun. I mean, I'd rather you just tase somebody. If you feel like someone is resisting, right? Then that's, to me, like running away, evading arrest, like, or even tussling with you. Get the taser. Like, where does it go from stopping somebody to they're dead, whether it be via chokehold, whether it's a knee on someone's neck, whether it's shooting someone plain sight in front of their kids and their girlfriend, just from getting a fucking wallet or whatever the case may be. Like, where's the middle? Where's the training that happens with these police officers, that they're taught to use common sense and to really reason? And to your point, Whitney, it's like, I can't remember if you just said this. I thought that you just said something like this. It's like there's this fear going on with our black men, and or being black in general. There's like this fear that's there. Rightfully so. I mean, we're a superior race. So I'm okay if you feel like you can't be super comfortable with me, but I'm not okay with you being afraid, so afraid that I'm not given a fair shot to, how can I say this? A fair shot, like someone who's not my color, if I am being arrested. Like, just
That's why it's not
the
rightfully,
assumption
they don't
of,
have the right to have fear of us. We didn't do anything for them to be fearful of
well,
black
I'm not
people.
saying fear of the black race. I'm saying if somebody was like, "Oh, I'm not too comfortable walking up on her like that." I'm okay. It has nothing to do with my race. It could be with a white person. Like, I'm just not going to walk up on somebody, and talk crazy to them. Like, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with, and again, it's not tied to a specific race. What I'm not okay with is the fact that I'm not giving a fair shot of any kind of credibility. And again, if that's what we have to endure, okay, that's one thing. But why do I have to die? Like, if you want to lock me up and we can talk about everything else later, can I just live to talk about it later? So,
I
you know,
think, I mean, I've definitely said this before, and I stand by this. I think that we are seeing the police's training. Like, I think that is what they're trained to do.
to
I
kill,
absolutely, to kill, especially men, women, whatever, that look like black. You know what I'm saying? The blacker, the more of a right you have to kill them. And I think there's a trained backing there where they feel safe to do that. You can't tell me that all these police officers are killing these black men back to back to back to back to back to back to back for years and years and years with barely any repercussions. You see them in these videos, they don't even think twice about killing them. They don't even think twice
no, the
because
fact
they're
that,
100% comfortable. They know they're going to be damn near probably rewarded for that shit if there wasn't a camera there. You know what I mean? Like, they've been getting away with this for so long. This is what they're trained to do at this point. This has nothing to do with training. Fuck the training. Fuck the people who give the training. Destroy all that shit. Because the training ain't what's up. The training isn't where we need to be headed. Destroy it all. All of it. Why are we still operating off of the same police system that policed us when we were fucking slaves?
yeah,
Destroy that shit. Period.
yeah,
We
I
need a
agree.
whole new system, a whole new justice system, a whole new, it has to be changed, because if it's not, people are going to destroy it. And if you don't believe me, look at history.
Here's
Okay,
the thing that I
revolts
don't
happen.
understand. I don't understand this aspect about our culture, is the fact that, and again, I'm not going to sit up here and say that eye for an eye is always right. Believe what you want to believe about what I'm about to say.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I don't understand for myself how we as a culture, we are looked at as the stronger race, right? We've even said, like, don't let no black person come, because we ain't going. We ain't doing that. If that happens to us, we ain't going. But yet we have George Zimmerman's walking around, going to the beach, plain sight, whatever the case may be, just walking around leisurely. But then we kill our own people over someone stepping on a Nike shoe, or like, I just wish that we would channel that energy to, even if you just want to fuck up George Zimmerman like esque person, even if you just want to just gang them up and beat them and punch them, whatever. I just don't understand why we have so many. It's one thing that the justice system fails us. It's always failed us. There's been no comfort in the justice system. But if you are out here, like if somebody killed my son, like I can't say what I will or will not do, but I can just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I don't understand why we have a George Zimmerman and people that are like him day in and day out. We know who they are. They're out in the open and they're just out here leisurely walking. And, you know, there's only so much protesting we can do. There's only so much. I do feel like we do need to be an organized group of people. I feel like we can have organized situations. But I also feel like at some point people are angry. People have been angry, and I'm not mad at the riots, but at the same time, it's like nobody's still even really paying. It's like we're just getting angry, we're throwing stuff around, rest in peace posts. And again, I'm not saying, again, eye for an eye, you kill them, you shoot them, and it solves the problem. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know. I just feel like something should happen to where people of other races would think twice before they just start willy-nilly killing people out in public. Like, nah, we need to figure out a new way. If we're gonna do this, we need to figure out a new way, because them people ain't going. Like, that movement over there, they are not playing. Do you know what this means if you do this? Like, they gonna come for you and your family, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. That's just my theory on it. And I don't even know if that's a real theory. I don't know. And I'm not saying that's the solve. I guess I'm just saying, like, I just don't see how all these people are still out here just walking around having a great, great time. And we know who they are.
Right. So, I mean, it's not a theory. That's just your opinion on how you believe things should be. And, I mean, that is valid. You know what I'm saying? In an ideal world, I would love it to be that way too, but it's hard for it to be that way when us as a Black people, we don't have any leaders. We don't have any political leaders. All the ones that we did have, they're gone.
Yeah, because nobody's willing to die.
And if they do die, so what? They killed Malcolm X. They killed Martin Luther King. We can name so many leaders. All of our civil rights leaders who should be old in their beds today with their grandchildren are dead. And that's because they killed them. Every time there was a chance for Black people to organize, Black Wall Street, Black Lives Matter, Black Panthers, that shit has been destroyed time and time again. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any of that. We don't have a system. We can't come together, not even for major organizations like that, but just as a people together, we're so divided. You know what I mean? There's colorism, there's this, there's that, there's Black men that don't like Black women, there's Black women that feel hated on by Black men. There's so much bullshit in our community. We don't have a chance to come together. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, people want to claim that white people fear Black folks, but at the end of the day, Black people don't have the nerve to walk up to a white person and shoot them in the fucking head in broad daylight, because we know we going to jail for life, probably the death chamber. So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Black people, and I'm not excusing Black on Black crime, whatever. Crime is crime, violence is violence. It shouldn't happen, period. But the reason a Black person feels so much more comfortable taking their own Black brother's life is because they know that life is less valuable than these white motherfuckers walking around. They take a white person's life, it's a wrap for them forever. A Black person's life, they may get manslaughter. They may be out in 10 years. You know, like, it's different. And so it's hard to just put the blame on the people within the society when the society's so fucked up. And every time us as a people tried to gain some power, gain some leaderships, have some leaders, it's taken from us. It's taken from us. The only leaders they want us to have are fucking celebrities and musicians and reality stars and people that don't make shit happen in this country. Those are the people they want us to focus on. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. And so I understand the frustrations of, it's like, okay, we don't have nobody in the Senate. We don't have nobody in the House. We don't have nobody changing these laws for us. The police departments don't care. The sheriff departments don't care. The fucking presidents, mayors, whatever, don't care. What the hell are we supposed to do besides just burn shit down and throw rocks at police cars? Like, people don't know what to do. It's so frustrating because every year, every fucking month, we're back here having the same conversations.
Every week.
Every fucking week. So
We're
I
not
don't
even
blame
over,
nobody
we'll
that's
never
producing
get
it.
over the Ahmad situation, but I'm saying, like, we're not even over that hump. Like, I don't even know if I think the police officers, or not the police officers, I think the people that were responsible for his death, the guy who was running in the neighborhood, who they thought was the culprit for stealing things out of people's homes, I think they have been charged, but what I'm saying is like, we're still waiting on that before just we turn around and this happens blatantly. Like you said, you literally could feel that officer just like kind of looking at you like, what are you going to do? You know, like, I don't care. Meanwhile, he's being berated by questions and like videos and like, dude, you're on camera. Like, people are going to see this. Like, and you don't even care.
Because that's what he's trained to do. Because it's like, this happens I would say 1 out of every 10, 15, 20, 50 killings, one may go viral. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he thought it could possibly just be water under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or I'm not going to get in trouble for this.
It was a roll of the dice, and he obviously felt way more comfortable. And all of his teammates, or whatever you want to call it, fucking mass murderers, all those people, they sat there and saw this man's life get taken from him and didn't care. It happened so slow. They had so many chances to save him. Even after he passed out, y'all could have tried to resuscitate the nigga. Like, you could have did something. You clearly don't care. And then it pissed me off because I heard of some news reports that got put on social media, and these reporters had the nerve to be like, George died later at the hospital. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We all sat there and saw him die on that fucking camera, and it was disturbing and horrifying. And y'all want to sit here and sugarcoat this shit?
That's what they do.
He died from his injuries. No. We saw the life get sucked out of his body right there for 10 minutes as y'all tortured this man.
And clearly that they were saying
like
at first he was resisting. And then it came out with the full video, because for a while people had only seen like a short clip. And then they were saying, well, there's reports saying that he was resisting, hence why the cop was blah, 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 blah. Well, then it came out later, a full video, and you can clearly see he was not resisting anything. So no, let's stick to the facts. Why was this man taken down in the manner in which he was? And why was it not enough that he was in handcuffs? Because you can't bring up that he was resisting, because we've seen it. Like, resisting what? Like, that's my thing. Explain how we even got in the situation. I don't want to talk about he died at the hospital. Like, let's talk about the reason why he's even in handcuffs, and the reason why you felt the need to have everybody on top of him and your knee in his neck. Then we can talk about other stuff. But right now, let's stay on track here. Okay? No.
And apparently this is all over a forgery claim for $50 or some shit. I don't know. Some very small amount of money they claimed was a forged check or something. And that's why the police were called. So it's like, what is all this violence for? A forged check of $49 or whatever it is? Whatever it is, you're not the judge, you're not the jury, you're not the lawyer, you're none of that. You're the fucking police officer. You put them in handcuffs and you book them. And then you take your ass down to fucking get somebody speeding. Like, who do y'all think y'all are? That's what I'm saying. There's some fucking orders being sent. Okay, there are some initiatives that we clearly don't know about. But this is far from coincidences at this point. These people aren't scared.
It's just so...
They have orders to kill Black people. Period. I don't care. We don't have that many listeners, so hopefully I'll be safe by saying this. But I don't. You can fool everybody else, but it's clear as day. This is what is being taught. This is what they're out here doing. Literally hunting people, probably doing it for fun.
Consistently,
Probably doing it for
consistently,
fun.
consistently. And I, you know, and I, as a mom, I mean, of course I fear for, you know, my husband, my father, my brother-in-law, but I really get in a dark place when I think about my son.
Yep.
Even at his age, he didn't even have to become an adult. Like, this
Nope.
happens to 10-year-olds, this happens to 15-year-olds.
Sure does.
We've seen things happen to 4 and 5-year-olds who are being put in grown-up handcuffs. I don't even know how that happens. But it just humanizes everything for me, because again, people can become desensitized by seeing an overwhelmingly amount of videos that are not supposed to be seen. Like, I don't want to see it, but shit, it's in my face. And although I won't say that I'm desensitized, I can see how people can be. And with that being said, you know, if you have someone in your life where you can relate to, and you don't even have to be Black to humanize with what's going on, and to understand what's right from wrong. Having my son, my Black son, a darker Black skinned man, it doesn't matter if you're light, white, or indifferent, I mean middle or indifferent, but I just fear for him, and I try not to live in fear. But when you have a child, you know, you're just like you're overprotective. You're just a bear, and I can't imagine burying my son or thinking about someone taking his life because of his skin tone, in whatever situation. I don't care if he was wrong. Um, you just shouldn't have to. We just, I don't know. And I think the most discouraging fact in this whole thing and all of these common cases are that we don't know what to do as a nation. Like, we just don't know what we know what the solution is, but we don't know how to go about it. And even if we did go about it, would there even be change? So it's kind of like, I had posted this thing today, and I'm going to read it because I find it to be, I don't know, it spoke to me, but it basically said, being Black is having a good day and then seeing another Black person was killed for no reason. Then you have to talk about that all day, or don't, and numb yourself. It's a constant emotional war.
Facts.
So, you know, it's where we are.
Big facts. Big facts.
I mean, I literally was having an okay day the other day, or was it yesterday that this came out? I was having an okay day, and then I'm like, I just heard people talking about, like, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? And I was like, and then once I got a grasp on what was going on, I was like, I can't watch. Is this what? And then I'm like, oh my God. You know, but for me, I'm like, I've seen these videos. And something about yesterday's video,
This one was
I
so
was like, there's
different.
something that's like I feel like something's gonna happen. Like, I
It
feel
was
something brewing.
because this one was so different. Like
Yeah, that's why I was like, I posted, I was like, there something is brewing, like like something. And then an hour, 2 hours later, you know, we saw the mayhem in Minneapolis, and I was thinking, like, rightfully so, these people are fucking angered. I mean, we're angered too, but you can't, I don't know, we're fed up. We've been fed up, but I don't know. Something about yesterday's incident, murder, crime,
because that video
lynching.
it was nothing like the others videos. Like that was you know, usually we may see these videos where something happens really fast, or somebody gets shot,
Yeah.
or there's a tussle, or there's my gun went off, or I shot because I couldn't think quicker enough. You know, like this
I
was
don't know.
not that.
Eric Garner, his was really emotional for me.
Yeah, his was
I
emotional as
mean, he
well.
didn't have any fight. Like, he was just choked out. Like, the whole video was just him choked. Like, I don't know. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really sad. A lot of celebrities have been supporting, you know, the efforts of at least posting George and letting, you know, their followers know about his story. I do want to quickly shout out an actor, John Boyega. I want to say his name's Boyega. He is a African actor who was in, I think he was in a really big movie, Star Wars, I think. Um,
Okay.
he's a young 20-something actor, but he has millions of followers. A lot of them are white because he did play in a movie like Star Wars, which is widely known, a lot of white followers. So a lot of them proceeded to comment on his post that he made, and he basically made a post saying he hates racism, he hates this whole situation. And yeah, he went off on them. He went off on them, and he basically was replying to them and everything they were saying, because a lot of racists were saying, you can't hate racists, that's a strong word, and two wrongs doesn't make a right, so how could you say that you hate racist? And that's still negativity. If you say you hate a racist, like, you shouldn't say that, you should say you hate their actions or whatever. And he was just like, no, I hate racists and you need to speak for yourself. He was like, I'm not, I'm not about to pacify what I'm saying.
To make you comfortable.
Right. So crazy, girl, crazy. But shout out to him because he has a lot of followers, and just people know him from these like Marvel movies and shit. So
And
for
the
him to
fact that he's using his
go off,
platform to do that, you know, that's what we need. We need more of that. We cannot stop seeing enough of that. You know, people using their
yeah,
platform to bring awareness and to speak out against what's really going on. You
yeah,
know, there is no other races, like we don't see color, you know, I mean, you know what I mean? It's none of that. Like, we need you guys to see
yeah.
color.
He
We
said
need you
he
to see
needs
color.
you to respect. I want to play a little clip of what he said
Okay.
because he just went off.
Black people online. I make sure if you comment on all my pictures or videos and you saying anything about no black people, you saying any racist shit, that's straight up block. It's fine. It's ready. Don't need you on my page. And if you're a fan of me and you support my work and you're racist and you're arguing with what I was saying, off. You fucking kids. Yeah? So I'm straight up like that. First of all, you're gonna
Straight up like that. Okay, that
You
accent is
fucking
everything.
dickheads. I like him.
Go ahead, John. I had to follow you after that. I was like, okay.
You
But
invited
yeah,
to the cookout.
that's what we need. I mean, he's black, so he is the cookout. But
Oh, is he black?
yeah, he's black.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he was white. Okay.
Yeah, girl, you wasn't really listening to the beginning, but he's black. He's one of the very few black actors in the Star Wars films, which is
The Marvel.
why
Yeah, okay,
the
gotcha.
Marvel, and that's mostly
Gotcha.
white following.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's why
I
he has a
got you.
lot of white fan bases.
I
So
got you confused with the white fan base. Okay.
right. Yeah. So it's just, this is what we're gonna have to do, y'all. We're gonna have to keep putting people in their place left and right at this point. Personally, I thank God I was not on scene of that situation, just because of the traumatics that I would have to carry with me after that. And for two, I probably would have got a shot. I probably would have got arrested or shot, because I am not letting you fucking slowly kill someone in front of us. Like, what? I'm sorry. Even if it meant I just jump on y'all so y'all arrest me to get off of him. Like, it is what it is at that point. I'm not about to sit and watch y'all slowly. It wasn't even like jump in front of a bullet. It's like, get the fuck off of him. He's blacking out. Like, he is slowly dying in front of all of us. You got me fucked up. No, you're not about to traumatize me like this either. Like, no. So
And the
just thank
rest of
God I
America,
wasn't
because
there.
again, it only takes 2 seconds to film something and now it's viral. Like now we're all
Yeah.
like, thank God we're
It's like our only
aware and we're
protection.
woke, but shit, you know, the human mind can only be exposed to so much. Like this is just, unless you're just one of those people that's like become, like I said, desensitized, where it's like, well, because I had actually was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she just was like, honestly, I just, you know, and I was like, you what? And she was just like, I can't even deal with it. Like I kind of just want to move on, you know, like we're gonna hear about another one in 2 weeks. So, and I mean, again, I respect her opinion. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, "What? You're not outraged? You're not this, this, this." Like, listen.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
don't
it's
know
not
what.
gonna, people are gonna do that until it hits close to home, you know, until that's your cousin or your brother or
Right.
whoever.
Right.
Then you're gonna be outraged because you don't have a choice to be outraged. So
Right.
it's fine because you can, it's voluntary. Of course, you can remove yourself from the situation and say, I can't deal with this. I refuse to deal with this. My day's great and I'm not looking at it. And that's your choice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me personally, I feel like that could be somebody I love or myself in an instant. So whatever I could do to bring awareness, even if it's just post to post and the 2 white people that follow me look at it, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like whatever I can do, I'm gonna do it just because I know however much it may hurt me, it don't hurt me nearly as much as it's hurting all his friends and family.
Exactly.
Me next week, you know? So it's just, I don't blame anyone who wants to remove themselves from it, but it just think it could be you next week. So would you want people to say, I can't deal with your situation, deal with it on your own? If that was you crying about your brother, you wouldn't. That's all I got to say. You know, it's what would you want? What type of support would you want if this was your loved one?
That's a good way to look at that. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and that's honestly why we can't fucking come together as a people, because we too, you know, in 2020, it's just too hard to look at it. And I get it, it is hard, but it's like, it was hard to fucking walk 11 miles and boycott the buses. It was hard to do that too, but they did it because that was their time and place in history, and that's what they needed to do. So if we have to look at viral videos and stand on courthouse steps or whatever we need to do, I think we need to take our part in history too and do what we need to do, even if it's hard, because it's setting up a better life for our future generations.
And I think too, who's to say, to your point about like Martin Luther King getting killed, Malcolm X, and, you know, all of our leaders that once stood for the goal of the Black human race and experience, not just for them, but they saw the future, they saw us. And who's to say that if we kept that momentum, like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately they died, but they died for a bigger reason than themselves. And who's to say that, like, if there were, you know, the next stand-up person and the one after him and the one after them, who's to say that we wouldn't see what we should be seeing if we kept that momentum? I remember I was watching Malcolm X, the movie with Denzel, and I've seen it years ago, but then I rewatched it like probably last month. So I was into this, like, just watching all these old movies. I was watching Lean on Me and just all these movies that I've seen. And I was like,
I love
there was
old
this,
movies.
and there was a scene in Malcolm X where there was a Black guy who got locked up. I can't remember the reason, but again, it was all about injustice and it was unfair. And Malcolm X walked into the police station and was like, yo, like, where he at? Coming to get him. He's like, you know, police officers like, we're not doing anything about that. So he's like, okay, you know, like, if you want to play this way, that's fine, we'll do that. Cop looked outside, saw the whole freaking Nation of Islam, like his goats, like it was no games. It was no games. And he looked at the other officer. They was like, go get him out, get him out. We don't want those problems. And I just thought, like, wow, like you know, like those were moments, but those were huge, impactful moments that meant something. And how dope would it be? And yes, they were organized. That's what I would consider a very organized protest, and, you know, all of that. But it just, I don't know, it just gave me chills. And I'm like, how dope would that be had we kept that momentum along the way, you know? But like you said, our leaders keep getting killed. But also, you know, it's just like we haven't really had anybody willing to die for those causes. And I get it, you know, I get it. People are scared now. But I'm sure people were scared back then too, you know? But again, it's just, I feel like our values have shifted from what they once were back then to now. And we've become such more of a selfish race than, like you said, one of coming together. And we have our reasons for not coming together. They didn't just come out of like, oh, I just don't like, you know, my neighbor. And I want to be jealous. And, you know, they're definitely systematically like ingrained in us. But still, I feel like with all of the resources that we have and the things that we have, a lot of us have at our fingertips, if we really just used it and really just thought as one, we really could do some damage. Like, how good of it would we be if we really did come together? It's almost like a dream, but to see it play out on film, because I wasn't alive back in 1960 or 50, whatever it was, just to see that one clip really impacted me. Like, damn, they, you know, they got in line just off of him, like, play no games. Like, yeah, we don't want those issues.
No.
Go ahead and get our brother out. Get his, what does he want? Okay, yeah, get him out too. We're not dealing with that. We don't want that. But also Malcolm X was about it. He was like, you know, eye for an eye. Freedom is not peace, you know, to have freedom without peace. You can't have peace without freedom. So, and the price of freedom is death, you know, but I don't know. Easier said than done, but just how dope would it be is, I think, what was my point in all of this. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm really sad for even the clip you posted on our page today of George when he was talking about. Mm-hmm. Man, it just gave me chills.
He was a good
like
man.
It humanized it for me. Yep. And I don't even need just a whole lot for me to feel for someone else. But when you see things of that magnitude, that it's just eerie. It's eerie. It's like, damn, like, I know his soul. Like, I know this person. Like, he wasn't harmful. Like, but again, even if he was harmful, people that kill people, you know, they have a chance to at least see their day in jail or in court. Like, why do we have to go to kill? Like, I don't always want to make it seem like, you know, just because they're good people, like, good people, they shouldn't have a lot of these people shouldn't have even been arrested or fucked with. But again, even if they had an ounce or something kind of criminal background, that does not give people the right to still be like, well, he deserves. Did you see his mugshot? You know, I remember when Trayvon Martin happened, and I was working at this job years ago, and I remember me going to work pissed off because I had to be there with a whole bunch of white people. Mm-hmm. And it really impacted me, and the Trayvon Martin and story. Yeah. And I remember we were talking about it, and this white girl was just like, well, did you see, I mean, they think he has a criminal background. I'm like, bitch, ooh. Like, just the thought of, like, you're one of, like, ugh.
And the fact she had the balls to say that to you, like,
they don't care. They don't care. I was like, and at the time, I wasn't going. I was like, what? I can't even remember what I said, but I was so fired up. I blocked her, and me and her were actually cool. Like, we was cool. Like, she was cool, and I'm like, wait a minute.
You thought?
Pause.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I blocked her.
Just
I was like,
ignorant.
there will be no disrespect, you know, no tolerance.
Just
Even
ignorant.
when Barack Obama became president, I was working that same job and she had something to say and I came blasting my music in the parking lot in all ignorant levels, talking
My
about my
president's
president is
black.
black. Don't say
That was
shit to
everybody's
me.
song in
Don't say
2008.
shit to me. I don't give a fuck if we voted for him just because he was
What?
black and what. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care. So yeah, it's just too much.
Girl, so unfortunate.
It's too much. And white people that are not speaking up and speaking out and raising your children to not kill ours, you are part of the problem as well. You need to be teaching your kids, demonstrating certain behaviors that are not okay. This is why it's not okay. Forget what you were taught in your history school books in class. That's not real. You know, that's one version that you guys wrote up. But, you know, no, like you're part of the problem. Or just to not even talk about it, not to even act as though it just doesn't even happen, or it's just a different kind of world and it's not part of your world. You're part
No,
of the
it's
problem.
not. They don't care. Some of them do, but
Some do.
very, rarely.
Is Sean King white, or is he kind of black?
Well, he doesn't
He's
look
just light
white to
skinned.
me. He
Okay, I wasn't
looks,
sure if he was just
I
light
thought he was
skinned.
Hispanic, but I know he's like an activist or whatever. So
Yeah, I knew that. I just wasn't sure what his race was.
he makes a lot of good points, but
He does.
I really could not tell you. I just got onto him. I literally just followed him today.
Yeah, some people, I keep saying most people, some
Just followed
people have
him.
some bad things to say about him.
I heard.
And I haven't really dug into necessarily the why aspect,
Like,
but
I was wondering that too. He definitely looks like he has something in him, but
okay.
it looks like, 1/4 black.
And a possible.
Like his grandfather's black,
Oh, okay. So yeah, got you. I was like, is he white? Because usually I'm pretty good. But if they have some flavor to him, I'd be like, oh, I don't know if you just like John B. or
He do remind me of John B. His girl looks
Mhm.
white. I mean, looks
Yeah.
okay, I'm pulling up his family pictures now. But his mom's definitely white.
Listen, y'all, females, we can be the FBI in a minute. Never underestimate the power of a woman and her research. I'm trying to tell you. So,
I gotta say though, I don't know if he's white or black, but I still like how the things he says that I've seen in regards to like stuff like this. I ain't got no problem with white people standing up for black rights.
they should.
I encourage it heavily. So
They should. I mean, I feel like it's a responsibility.
it
If
is.
you're an American
We need
citizen.
them. We clearly can't get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Not on our own. Not in this climate. Gotta have somebody on the inside.
Girl, we gotta have somebody's Tammy. Okay, like they say, where's Jamal the intern in those meetings? We need a damn Tammy. We need a damn Sam, Jonah, whoever you want to call it, on our behalf, fighting.
Yeah.
Just like we are. Just like we are. Even because change, I don't know. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole because I just don't know.
What rabbit hole?
What the solutions are.
Yeah, I really don't know. I can't tell you. I'm frustrated. I mean, I don't know what I would
All
do.
I see is go get the cop. Go get those cops. Go get them. That's my solution. That would be not as a raise. I'm saying if that was my child, like not mine's, but again, I'm talking about professionally what is the solutions, and I just don't know what they are.
I don't know either, girl. It's very
Being
traumatizing.
peaceful gets us nothing. Being peaceful, being diplomatic, being reasonable, you
I don't
know.
know. I'm not
So,
a violent person, so I hate to say like stoop to violence and all that, but I get it, you know, like I understand it. It's so frustrating. Like, what else do you do at this point? What else do you do? That's what countries do. When countries can't get along, they can't come to resolution. What do? Go to war, fight each other. So it's just like a civil war. This country is not in peace. It's in turmoil. So there, something has to happen. It's going to reach a boiling point. So I don't know.
hopefully I'm overseas when it happens, because I just really don't want to live here anymore. If I could
Girl,
have dual citizenship, I would.
that part, I have a lot of I don't want to say fans, subscribers that are in different parts of the world on my YouTube and my horoscope YouTube. And, you know, they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry for everybody in America. It looks like a war on Black people in America. They're just like, I can't believe there's any Black people living still. Like, they literally write this on my post. Like, they're Black people who don't live in America and they just can't believe this shit. It's like the 1960s or something. It's sick.
Speaking of your YouTube, go ahead and plug your YouTube channels for those that, because I'm sure there's tons of people that would love to get a tarot reading or to read about what their energy is speaking to of the day.
We've
Because
plugged
I know I follow a lot of
it.
people who I didn't even know were into that, and they're now doing. I'm like, oh, I was like, this is what my friend does. Oh, she does this, you know.
Yeah, more people are becoming more spiritually awakened and stuff, especially in times like this, because you feel a certain way, you don't know what to do with those feelings, you don't know how to like process them or whatever. Religion and the church, quote unquote, is just not what it used to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not really where people go to find that solace and that like connection anymore. Not really, unfortunately. So people are, you know, finding different ways to be connected.
And I feel like it does bring a sense of healing, because I know some things you've shared with me, since you and I are both Pisces. You've shared some things with me that, whether it's, I've never really seen anything bad. It's more so either it's something very informative, like, okay, oh my God, this is why I was been feeling this way, or this is what I'm going through. So it's not even something where people, you know, may think, oh, it's demonic, or they're going to tell you something horrible, like you're going to die tomorrow. It's just mainly like you being in tune and in touch with, you know, your sense of self. And then there's other readings or other things that you send me where I'm like, oh my God, I'm in expectance. Like, I've been talking about this. I knew this was, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great tool, one of many tools. But I definitely think it would be helpful, you know, for you to definitely share it with our audience. And
Yeah, we've
for
shared
those
it
that want to head
before.
on over there.
You've shared it before. I've shared it before, but I will share it again.
Yeah.
It's Pisces Are Us on YouTube. I also am starting a spiritual podcast. So I already started working on the first episode. So I'll plug that soon
More
as
details
well.
to come.
But just a place to get more spiritually, you know, talk about more spiritual dream-like stuff instead of this serious celebrity stuff all the time. So definitely will keep y'all plugged on that.
Good stuff. Good. All right. Well, I think that concludes our episode for today. Did you have anything else that I'm leaving off the table?
I just want to pray and, you know, ask God to bless everyone out there, all of us who are, you know, being touched by the situation here, especially bless, you know, George's family, help them come to peace with the situation in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, cover all of us and protect us from tragedies like this happening again. So
Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up, child. Stay prayed up. Stay off the internet. I would say allow yourself a certain amount of time during the day to be engaged with the outside world, and then allow some of that time to be dedicated for just you and your family. and things that, you know, matter and pour into you, because you can get caught up in the stuff outside of your household, even as it relates to just bad things happening, weather, you know, Trump. I mean, it's just crazy out there. And self-care is the most important. The most important. So I'd say, yeah, do that as well. That's all I got.
All right, y'all. We will talk to you next time.